Hi, this is Jim Jordan with the Oregon Energy Healing Center, and today is the day after Thanksgiving. And I felt like I wanted to make a communication about a healing modality that I've talked about before, and I found it to be universally beneficial to everybody to some degree, depending on the amount they do it. And it's something that we've done when we were children a lot, and we do in the summer, and sometimes we do if we're realize how important it is for health, but it's getting our bodies connected to the earth. This is called earthing. Another term that's used is grounding, but earthing is the term I want to use because you're actually getting connected to the earth. And the reason that's important is that the earth is a reservoir of massive amounts of energy in the form of electrons that are transferred to your body when you have contact with the earth or through some substance that has contact with the earth that's conductive. And since probably the late 50s, early 60s, humans have been disconnected from the earth because our shoes all have rubber soles now, and that that's not conductive, not a conductive material. And even when we're walking in a park or something like that with tennis shoes on, we have no actual physical connection to the earth's energy, and there's a massive cost to us for that. And the reason is that our environment is more and more stressful from toxins, electromagnetic radiation, and stress. And that creates positive charge molecules in our bodies that create inflammation and pain. So when I've looked at live blood analysis for 28 years now, I look in people's blood sample blood and I see lots of inflammation in the form of fibrin. Those of you who've had live blood with me might remember this, where it looks like there's a spider web in the background. That's inflammation. That translates to poor circulation, poor oxygenation, and pain. So there's many ways we try to remedy that, but one of the fastest ways to remedy it is to get your body in contact with the earth. And I've verified that by looking at my own blood before and after I put my feet on the earth for 20 to 30 minutes. And the change is significant in reducing inflammation and increasing circulation, reducing the blood viscosity, which means it flows better. So now the question is, how do we do that year round? Obviously in the summer, if we have a nice yard or a park, we can go barefoot in the yard or the park. Some people camp outside and have some conductive material they're sleeping on outside. But during the winter months, it's very difficult. If you're like me, I do still put my feet on the earth every morning, unless it's absolutely freezing out, just to do my Qigong practice. But most people won't do that. So there are companies that make products that have conductive materials that you can sleep on, you can put them on your workstation to put your feet on it, or you can sit on it. And there's many different ways to do it. There's several companies out there, but the one that I'm most interested in recommending to you is a company that's developed by Dr. Laura Koniver, who's a medical doctor and spent the last, I think, 20 years or so of her career researching earthing technologies and products and developing really high quality ones that are made out of natural materials, cotton and stainless steel for the conductivity. So I think they're higher quality, and I've been starting to use them with some of my clients and myself. And she even has some earthing cords that you connect to the material that you then plug into your grounded socket in your electrical outlet. Or if you're like me, you put it outside the window and put it in a grounding rod in the earth. And her cords are shielded, they're protected from stray electricity. So there's no adverse electrical currents that get into that conductive cord. So that's why I'm recommending her products. I'll give you an example of what it looks like. One looks like is this is her smaller earthing pad that is made out of cotton. It's got stainless steel strands in here to conduct the Earth's energy. You would take this and probably sit on it or put it at the bottom of on the floor next to your workstation if you're working on a computer, or you can put it on your couch or something like that. It's not the best for sleeping. There's bigger ones for sleeping. But this is one of the simple products. There's the cord here, the cable that you would connect. In this case, this is a connector to the grounded part of the socket. You plug it in. and you can start to use that. So, and there's many products she has, whether they're larger ones for your bed, whether they're small ones like this, whether they're gloves that have conductive material, so when you can actually touch things with your hands, or their socks that you can have your feet covered with socks that have conductive material on it. So you can get that earth energy. So the earth energy is what's going to make a big difference in your life. So what it does is it will increase the negative charged electrons that get into your body that will neutralize inflammation, improve circulation, and with improved circulation and reduced inflammation, you will think clearer, you'll have more energy, you'll have less pain, and it's an amazing, universally beneficial. So what I've committed to is starting a couple months ago to do more and more earthing and get some conductive material from my bed that I can have my feet at least in contact with, to have more hours in the day where I'm connected to the Earth's energy, to see how that affects me with stress. And I don't have many other issues like pain or anything, but stress mainly. And so far it's helping a lot. I feel it's helping me sleep better. And I encourage people to do more than just put your bare feet on the earth in the summer or the spring months, but to try to have this integrated into your daily life with products like Dr. Koniver's. I will put a link in at the bottom of this video in the notes, and also in the newsletter that this is embedded in. So you can check out her website and see the different products that you can use. If you have questions, you can also call me and I can make recommendations. But as a starter, I would get the bedroll for sure, so you can sleep on that, and maybe a small mat like this one here that you can use for another place where you spend a lot of time during the day. And then even though it's winter, there's ways you can get your body connected to the earth. In fact, Dr. Koniver wrote a book called The Earth Prescription, in which he talks about seasonally how you can get different ways to make contact with the earth and get that earth energy. And these are things you might not have thought of. I'll give you one example. Most people don't know that concrete conducts Earth's energy. So if you have a concrete, a garage that's the foundation is concrete, even in the winter, you can go down in your garage, take your socks and shoes off, or if you have conductive socks, keep the socks on. And when you're grounded on the concrete, it's not asphalt, which is synthetic, but if you're grounded on concrete, you're getting earth energy, and you can be earthing in your garage in the winter. So that's just one example, but there's many more in Dr. Koniver's book, The Earth Prescription. And as far as books go too, I would also recommend getting the book Earthing, which is written by Clint Ober, who is the sort of the founding father of the earthing movement right around the year 2000 or so, 1999, early 2000s. He started getting his research out there, and that will give you the scientific foundation. And there's lots of studies on the benefit of earthing. And Dr. Koniver's book will give you some very practical ideas of how you can get connected to the earth year-round, even in climates where it's cold. And using some of those products will also increase your hours that you are connected to the earth. And I would love to hear back from those of you who make an effort to be connected at least 8 to 12 hours a day, to see what that does for you. That's the 8 hours or so you're sleeping, and a few more hours during the day where you're working, or if you can do it outside in your yard. Let me know how you feel, because I want to get feedback from you so I can share that with more people. But those of us who've done this regularly can attest to the benefits in balancing the moods, improved circulation, more energy, better sleep, all the things that we're looking for. So for today, that's my message. Even though we're heading into December in Oregon, get your feet on the earth, get your body connected to the earth, and let me know how that goes. Feel free to call me if you have any questions. So this is Jim Jordan with the Oregon Energy Healing Center, wishing you a great day.